Have you ever seen your bird sleeping with its head buried deep into its feathers? It looks simple, quiet, almost ordinary. But what you are watching is not ordinary at all. It is one of the most sacred moments a bird can ever give you, and most people, without realizing it, destroy that moment. One sudden wake-up, one careless touch, one loud movement near the cage, and in a single second you may not only interrupt its rest, you may leave behind a fear response that stays with that bird for the rest of its life, because in nature, closing the eyes is never a small thing. For most animals, sleep means vulnerability. But for birds, creatures that live somewhere in the middle and lower layers of the food chain, every night is a biological gamble, a gamble between survival and death. In this video, we are going to decode one of the most astonishing systems in the bird world: the way birds sleep. The way they protect themselves while sleeping, the way they decide whether your home is safe enough for them to surrender. And most importantly, you will understand what it truly means when a bird closes its eyes in front of you. Because that moment is not casual, it is not random, it is not simply because it is tired, it means something much deeper. If you want to understand what is really happening inside these tiny wild souls, make sure you subscribe. Because what you are about to learn may completely change the way you think about something as simple as sleep. Top predators can sleep almost anywhere. A cat can collapse on a couch. A lion can stretch out under the sun. They can enter deep sleep with almost no fear, because the world is usually afraid of them. But birds cannot do that. Birds carry the memory of prey in their bones, and that creates one of the greatest biological paradoxes in nature. How does a flying animal, one that burns enormous amounts of energy every day, rest deeply enough to survive, while still watching for the snake in the branches, the owl in the dark, the weasel moving below? Nature's answer is one of the most astonishing designs in evolution. You may have noticed this before. You walk toward your bird's cage at night. The room is quiet. Your bird looks asleep. But the moment you come closer, one eye opens. Just one, not both. And many people think, oh, it woke up. But that may not be what happened. Your bird may have been resting with one half of its brain while keeping the other half awake. The open eye was still watching the room, still scanning for movement, still protecting the body while the body slept. This is called unihemispheric slow-wave sleep. Birds can allow one side of the brain to rest, while the other side stays awake enough to monitor the environment. The awake half of the brain connects to the open eye. That eye is not just open, it is working. It is receiving visual information. It is listening. It is checking the room for danger. The bird is sleeping, but it is also standing guard. Think about what that means. Even in rest, it is not fully free. Even in sleep, survival is still operating inside its nervous system. This is not a cute habit. This is ancient memory. This is a defense system written by millions of years of evolution. So never suddenly test a bird that looks asleep. Do not clap near it. Do not poke it. Do not laugh and try to see how fast it reacts. Because what you are disturbing is not just sleep. You are shaking one of the oldest survival mechanisms in its body. If unihemispheric sleep is the shield of defense, then true relaxation reveals something completely different. Every night when the lights go off, you may hear a strange sound coming from the cage, a soft grinding, a tiny scraping, almost like sand being chewed, or two rough stones rubbing against each other. Many new bird owners panic when they hear it. They think something is wrong with the beak. They think the bird is hungry. They think it is in pain. But in the language of birds, this sound is one of the most beautiful lullabies you can hear. Think about yourself for a moment. When you are deeply comfortable, lying warm under a blanket, just before sleep arrives, what do? Maybe you take a deep breath. Maybe you release a long sigh. Maybe your whole body softens because, for once, nothing is asking you to defend yourself. For birds, that soft grinding sound is their version of that sigh. Beak grinding is not the same as grinding teeth. Birds do not have teeth. It is a self-soothing behavior, a tiny nervous system ritual. When the bird has decided the environment is safe, when the temperature feels right, when the crop is full, When the room is calm, it begins to settle itself through that delicate vibration. The sound means the body is preparing for deeper rest. So when you hear that quiet grinding in your room at night, understand what your bird is telling you. It is saying, "Here, in this concrete forest, I feel safe." But the most powerful sleep behavior does not happen inside the cage. It happens on you. In wild flocks, birds often sleep in groups. The birds in the middle can close both eyes and enter deeper sleep. But the birds on the edges must remain more alert. They become the night watch. They keep one side of the brain more awake. They monitor the outer world for danger, and in some species they even rotate positions through the night so that every bird gets a chance to rest. Now understand that rule, and then look at the bird sleeping on your shoulder. When your bird fluffs up its feathers, when it tucks its beak into its back, when it closes both eyes and sinks into sleep while standing on you, it is not just tired. In its internal map of safety, it has handed the role of night watchman to you. Do you understand the weight of that trust? A creature that weighs only a few dozen grams. A creature with hollow bones. A creature built for escape. A creature whose body is designed around the possibility of danger. Has placed the most defenseless moment of its day into the hands of a giant animal hundreds of times its size. It believes your size is not there to hunt it. It believes your strength is protection. It believes that if something moves in the darkness, you will be the wall between danger and its body. In that moment, you are no longer simply owner and pet. You are members of the same flock. You are two living beings sharing the oldest contract in nature. I sleep because you are watching. But even inside the safest home, the night still has hidden dangers. Almost every bird owner knows this sound. It happens suddenly. In the middle of the night, a violent explosion of wings inside the cage, metal rattling, feathers beating. A panic so intense it can wake you from deep sleep instantly. This is called a night fright, and in cockatiels it is especially common. But a night fright is not just a scare. During a night fright, a bird may crash into the cage bars again and again. It may break feathers. It may injure its wings. It may bleed. In severe cases, it can cause serious trauma. So why does this happen? Imagine you are asleep in total darkness. Suddenly, something lands on your face. Before your conscious mind understands anything, your body reacts. You jump. You pull away. You run. Your rational brain arrives too late. Your survival system has already taken control. For birds, whose night vision is often very limited, anything unexpected can trigger that same primitive response. A flash of light, a vibration, a loud sound, a shadow, even an insect moving across the floor. In one instant, the ancient command arrives before the rational brain can stop it. Fly. Escape. Now. But inside a cage, there is nowhere to fly, so the bird launches into panic and crashes into the boundaries around it. If this happens, do not immediately turn on a harsh overhead light, and do not reach into the cage and grab the bird. That may make the panic worse. Instead, turn on a soft night light. Use a calm, steady voice. Say your bird's name gently. Speak the way you speak when you comfort it during the day. Let it hear something familiar. Let it locate you. Let its breathing slow down. Wait until it realizes, that is my human. I am not alone. To prevent night frights and to protect the trust your bird gives you every night, you need to build its sleep environment scientifically, not emotionally, not randomly, not just by placing a cage in a corner of the room. A true bird sleep sanctuary is a microenvironment, a place designed for instinct, a place designed for safety, a place designed for the ancient brain inside a modern home. I have prepared a complete bird deep sleep sanctuary setup blueprint for you. You can get it for free in the description below. But right now, there are 3 core rules you need to remember. Rule number 1, height and blind spots. The sleeping area of the cage should have at least one side against a wall, ideally 2 sides, and the sleeping perch should be placed in the highest safe position in the cage. In the wild, height means safety. A protected back means a predator cannot strike from behind. To a bird, a corner is not just a corner, it is protection. It is a reduced attack angle. It is survival architecture. It is the difference between feeling exposed and feeling defended. Rule number 2. The art of covering. Many people believe they should cover the entire cage with thick black fabric until no light can enter at all. But for birds prone to night frights, total darkness is not always the safest choice. When a bird wakes in complete darkness, it may not know where it is. It cannot see the cage boundaries. It cannot orient its body. And if panic starts, the cage becomes a trap it cannot understand. A safer approach is partial covering. Keep the cage ventilated. Block drafts, create a darker resting zone, but allow a small amount of outline light to remain, enough for the bird to recognize space if it wakes suddenly, enough for it to know, this is my cage, this is my perch, this is where I am. Rule number 3. The principle of faint light. Always keep a very dim, warm night light in the room where your bird sleeps. Not bright, not direct, not shining into the cage. Just a faint glow, like moonlight in a forest. Enough for the bird to see the edges of its world, enough to reduce panic when startled, enough to turn a terrifying black void into a recognizable place. This tiny light can protect feathers. It can prevent injuries. And for a nervous bird, it can mean the difference between terror and recovery. From one eye open in guarded sleep to the soft grinding of a relaxed beak. From wings crashing against the cage at midnight to the silent weight of a bird sleeping on your shoulder. A bird's sleep is never just biological rest. It is a survival epic written into the nervous system. Every night when a wild soul leaves the open sky and enters your room, it faces an impossible decision. It must decide whether this strange world of metal, glass, walls, and human movement is safe enough to trust. It must lower the defenses that evolution spent millions of years building. It must believe that this place will not betray it. And when your bird wakes in the morning and gives you its first call, it may not simply be announcing a new day. In its own way, it may be telling you something much deeper. I survived the night because you were here. Because last night, while it slept, you were the watchman. You were the flock. You were the giant creature that did not harm it. The one that protected the most fragile hours of its life. When a bird closes its eyes in front of you, that is not a small thing. It is one of the highest forms of trust a bird can offer. Not obedience, not performance, not habit. It is surrender. It is safety. And in its quiet, feathered language, it may be love. So tonight, when your bird begins to settle, when the room grows quiet, when the feathers puff up and the beak disappears into the back, do not interrupt that moment. Just watch, softly, carefully, because you are being trusted with the most vulnerable version of a wild creature. And that trust is a gift. If this video helped you see the little bird in your home differently, leave a like. Share it with someone who loves birds. And tonight, take one quiet moment to look at your little companion. Not as a pet in a cage, but as a tiny survivor who has chosen, against every ancient instinct of fear, to sleep in your world. May both of you sleep safely tonight, and may your bird have the kind of rest that only comes when it knows it is truly safe.